Here is an RCA stereo receiver. It's an MX-7, and this was made in 1963. It's a tube type unit using 6973 output tubes, and it was literally saved from a dumpster. It was ready to go off to the dump, but I snatched it from the jaws of the dumpster, and I tested it out when I got it initially, and it did sort of work, but I wanted to give it all new capacitors to make sure it had the best performance. Let's take a look now at the top. It's got good size output transformers. It uses two 6973 outputs per channel. An interesting thing here is a Nuvistor, 6DS4 Nuvistor tube for the FM RF amplifier. Here's the FM IF stages. It's got, let's see here, 4 stages of IF, and here's the AM tuning capacitor. It's a tuned RF stage ahead of the converter, and it conveniently has separate AM and FM tuning dials, so that when you switch from one to the other, you can have each one tuned to a station, don't have to retune. Now take a look at the bottom and see the new electrolytics in the MX-7. Here are the new electrolytic capacitors I put in. As is common with some of this 1960s tube-type stereo equipment, there's a lot of components packed into a very thin chassis, so I had to be creative at mounting these. I was able to solder the terminal strips to the ground lugs of the old capacitors, and I used some solder wick to help make a better physical connection. Then I just sort of bent the leads back of the electrolytics, being careful to make sure nothing was shorting against each other. Then I used the terminal strips to make the connections. Up here, here's the voltage doubler section. And then down here, some additional new caps that I put in. Luckily, this has Mylar coupling capacitors in it. If it would have been just a few years earlier, it probably would have been filled with bumblebees or black beauties. But it does have Mylar. Otherwise, there would have been a lot more work involved in getting this recapped. We're now ready for a test of the MX-7. And the way that it turns on is just by pressing one of the function buttons down. There's one to cancel it to turn it off. So let's start with FM first. And there you can see the tuning eye. I put a new tuning eye tube in it. The old one was pretty weak.
You are hotter than a lava rocket. Every time a body drop, you would take a shot. In Arizona, from my front porch you can see the sea. I got some oceanfront property in Arizona.
Now let's try AM.
More news coming up on TSN. Sometimes kids just don't want to listen. What are you talking about, Tom? You know.
the deacons are sort of, they're ordained.
Defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers. DeShaun Stevenson of the Wizards said of LeBron James, and I quote, "He's overrated, and you can say I said that." Wilbon, DeShaun Stevenson said that. You were there last night. What do you think of what he said?
Well, I'm not going to agree with Mr. Stevenson. It was a competitive situation last night. The Wizards and Cavaliers have a nasty...